Welcome to the weekly energy weather report, harmony and chaos this week. I am going to make sure, yay, it connected automatically. Fantastic. So as you hop on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if it's warm or cool by you. Mother Nature's going back and forth here from hot to cold to cold to hot. And oh my goodness, it's chilly this morning. Without further ado, let's tune into the energy of this week. The whole goal of this energy weather report is to give you actionable steps, a heads up on the energetic weather coming your way so that you can be informed and make educated decisions so that you just don't kind of run away with the energy of the moment and lose your head. But that rather than life happening to you, you get to actively engage with it. Alrighty, so as you tune in, place your hand on your heart, and I'm going to just ask, what is the most important thing that you need to know going into this week? So we're just looking overarching energy. What's most important thing? Knight of Wands, and she pops out upside down. So many times the knights, they bring energy into our life. It can represent sometimes a person. It can sometimes represent an aspect or part of your personality, so an aspect of yourself. Knight of Wands, when it's reversed, it's similar energy to upright. It just means that something is inhibiting us from truly getting to the bottom of letting our hair down and having fun and feeling wild and free like the black stallion. Maybe there's been something that has been kind of hanging out in the wings, an impulsive decision or choice of like, oh, I just want to go and do it, but something is holding you back. So Knight of Wands, Wands is fire, it's energy, it's inspiration, it's passion. What I want to encourage you to do, knowing the energy of this week, and I'm going to share it with you, move things around on the desk so that you have it, is that the theme of this week, as I tuned in, I really felt into harmony in chaos is a great way to think of it. There's a lot of wonderful, unexpected surprises and events that might come your way, and they can be truly wonderful, wonderful opportunities, opening up doorways and paths. But sometimes if we're in a place of fear or if we're in a place of holding everything so tightly, and not letting our hair down, then it might feel chaotic. It's kind of like the friend who keeps bugging you, like, let's go to the festival. Let's go out on Saturday night and party. We'll go see live music. We'll go dancing. We'll go for dinner, movie, theater. And you're like, no, I'm just going to sit at home. I want to invite you as you go through this week, first of all, to definitely ground so that when opportunities come your way, unexpected, happy surprises, right? Knock on wood, because we're paying attention, we're tuning into the higher vibration of the energy, that you can make, how do I want to say, discerning choices and decisions on how to best navigate those opportunities, because there is a lot of fun and a lot of potential, a youthfulness, a vigor of like, let's just go out and enjoy life, have some fun and have some play. But I want to encourage you, ask yourself, what might be holding you back from letting your hair down, from feeling free and wild, from letting that inner youthful, it's kind of like a young adult, teenager, like, oh, we're just going to go out and we don't have to worry about sleep, we'll stay up till 2 dancing and having fun. What might be holding that back? We're just kind of doing a little bit of imaginative exercise. Hello, Julie. So glad you could join in the fun. All righty. And that reminds me, I should check to make sure I can really see myself on Facebook. And I do. Yay. Okay. Let's dive into the week itself. Now, part of the reason I love to track the moon and start to collect this data is because the moon represents how our emotions, how do I want to say this? Emotionally, how we're going through the day. It represents emotions. It represents intuition, the past. It's a way for us to navigate day-to-day experiences, knowing, okay, well, this is the energy that's present. So if I tune in and I do these tasks on my to-do list, I'm going to feel life go a whole lot more smoothly than if I go against the grain and try to do these set of tasks. So you can kind of tune in and say, this is the moon's energy, represents the daily experience. It'll affect our emotions. It'll also help us tap into our intuition in a different way. And the benefit of knowing these things is that you don't beat yourself up, that you know when to take action, when to rest. And inevitably, the goal is to give you the tools and the practices to help you step into the calling and the life that your heart has been wishing and dreaming for. So, with that, that's why I created Inside of the Moon Journal. And in the journal, there's a lot of things, including sacred practices and rituals and techniques. But I want to dive first into the tracking. And by the way, if you haven't heard yet, I've just opened up Inside of the Moon Club once again. So if you are interested, I'll pop the link around here. I have doors open right now. This is kind of the quiet announcement. We're going to kick things off this Saturday with some noise. All right. And you'll find out why. So, Moon Club, if you're looking for it, irinamiller.co/club. All right. The angels are telling me put that in the comments. Or at least that's the inspirational hit I'm getting, right? That little nudge. Put it in the comments because I know for myself, I hear things, but I need to see them in order to understand. So I get the little inspirational nudge. Let me put that in there. And so I take action, right? I won't get on my soapbox, but here's something I want to say. You have free will. You will get insights and hits of inspiration, inklings, I call them, your intuition coming. Where does it come from? Well, it could come, ultimately, right? It's God. We want to tune into God's energy. And there's a whole process that I bring my students through in Mastering Intuition to do that. But inspiration is essentially God, and angels are messengers of God. So sometimes we'll get an idea, a thought that pops into our head, nudging us to do something. Maybe it's like, check that the back door is locked, or make sure you turned off the coffee pot before you leave. Little things like that, to big things like make sure you paid that bill, or, call your friend. And then we have free will. We get to choose whether or not we take action. So it's not just like, my angels, how do I want to say this? We're not giving our power away, essentially. We're not saying, my angels told me to do this. So, or my angel, yes, they did. But you as an individual, make that decision to move forward. Because what happens is if we just say, my spirit team told me no, or my angels told me no, I can't do that. Listen to the energy in that versus, you know what, I had a hit of inspiration and meditative contemplation, or even just now, I was inspired by my angels, let me take action on this. So I decided to place the link in there. It's not me passing it off, because if something goes awry, let's say, whether it's good or bad, it's kind of like we can push the responsibility off onto the other person or onto our friends in high places. Like, why didn't it work out? I did all the right things. They told me that if I just did this, I had the inspiration. Holy cannoli. Take your seat as a beautiful spiritual being having a human experience. You have free will, and you have allies and friends in high places who are assisting you, but that doesn't mean you give your power away and let them decide for you. They are part of your advisory team looking out for you. They have your highest and best interest in mind. As long as you are connecting with absolute light, with Source Creator, you are in the right place. And then you, as the individual, make the decision. All right. Thank you for letting me rant. So with that being said, let's look at the week itself. So first thing I got myself all toasty doing that. Holy cannoli. And I think this is a perfect example of the energy this week. It's an energy of intense emotion. That's why I'm saying we want to find harmony in the chaos, or harmony in the big emotions that come up. So first things first, we look at the phase of the moon, because the phase of the moon is going to give us a general understanding of the type of energy we're working with. And what we're doing is we're in a waxing phase and we're working towards the full moon. That means we're working up towards a project or plan. Whatever intention you planted or set on the new moon last week, this is the time where you're taking little actions. Like last week, you were doing some research, you were making some interviews, maybe to ask questions, or maybe you were looking into courses, or maybe you were just looking into making appointments. As you come into the energy of Wednesday, it's going to be decision time. Like, okay, I've gathered enough information. Now I have to decide what makes the cut. Do I move forward? Do I step back? Do I continue on this route? And that is very, very helpful. From there, as we move towards the end of the week, you're going to refine your actions now with this new knowledge, now that you've kind of released some things and refined what you're doing in order to work towards your full moon goal, whatever that is. And that could simply be cleaning out the garage. It could be launching a project or a program. It could be, making more time for your friends or just enjoying life, bringing more rest in, whatever it is. So this moon or this week, the energy is building. So it's like, okay, you're taking little actions day by day. You're checking in to see what works, what doesn't work, and then you're moving forward. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to look at each day individually, and I'm going to share with you how you can make the most of the energy. So the moon kicks off in Leo. And what I love to do is I just write down Leo at the top of my page. I shade in the phase of the moon it's in. This right now is a waxing crescent as we work into the energy of today. And then I'll just take note of my mood, maybe a little fiery or sassy or salty or or the like. And the cool thing to note about Monday's energy is that because of the way the moon is working with Pluto, it's in an opposition part of the day, is that there are intense emotions. We have big feelings. So we want to be very mindful because Mercury is also getting involved, and Mercury is the way we communicate. We want to be mindful of our words. I would encourage you on Monday to give yourself time to ground, to take a few deep breaths. So before you say something, before you do something, give yourself some quiet space, some time away, just because emotions can be more intense. And we may say things that just kind of come right out of our head and then out of our mouth without thinking them through or really passing them through the four gates of speech. And the four gates of speech, the first part is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it true? And is now the best time to share this information? And if it can't pass through those four gates, I want to encourage you to just pause before you just blurt out whatever might be on your heart or mind. So that's Monday's energy. And we're going to pull a card just to ask, how can you make the most of it? So tuning in. Mercury. And Mercury came out upside down. So it really is communication. It's all about finding the right words. So I would encourage you, use those four gates of speech to make the most of Monday's energy. Leo moons are fiery, they're sensitive, they're emotional, they take things to heart, they take things very personally, especially if flaws are pointed out or they feel like they're less than. So I would really encourage you, use those four gates of speech in all of your dealings. If you're feeling fiery and hot and emotional, check in and make sure that you can say, okay, is this true? So like with me sharing the post, okay, true, right? I got an inspirational hit. I heard the way I said it. And then I thought, that's not the way it should be said. So is it kind? I try to deliver it in the kindest way possible, although I get a little salty about it. Is it, let's see, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? I felt it was necessary to explain my languaging because it's important that I share with you. I hold a great responsibility in sharing these sacred practices and techniques so that I share them in a very mindful way. And then the last part is now the best time. And I felt like, because I put my foot in it and I said it in a way that really doesn't harness the energy. Okay, so that's Monday. Tuesday. As we tune into Tuesday's energy, moon is still in Leo. It's still in that waxing crescent phase. So you're still kind of doing the research, making the appointments, finding out your new moon intention. You're just figuring out, all right, what do I need to gather before I do the first round of cuts? Now, something to note about this as we get into it, I'm just taking my little notes down here as I look at the energy and I tune into my own insight. Watch your emotions. Just really give yourself some space because you might feel more tenderhearted. That's Leo, the lion, the tenderhearted or the tenderfooted. Lions are ferocious. They're the queens and kings of the jungle. But because of that, because of their extremely beautiful, strong presence, I don't know if people realize how sensitive they are and how they can take things to heart. So, a Leo moon, it's important that there's words of affirmation and praise. So, even though you might be feeling intense emotions like rah, 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 you be mindful of your words. You're going to appreciate that everybody might be feeling a little extra sensitive and tenderhearted. And you just take your time with what you're doing and how you're communicating, whether that's with what you're posting, whether that's with, posting on social media, talking with friends, with clients, with coworkers. And we're going to tune in and ask, how can you make the most of Tuesday's energy? So, Cancer, immerse. I love it because the moon just moved out of Cancer. But Cancer is intuitive, it's sensitive, and it also had come out upside down. So it's encouraging you in this extra sensitivity, in this extra tenderheartedness. Create some space to trust your intuition and your gut, because sometimes what can happen is when the feelings are so immense and so powerful, we get very narrow and insular in our understanding. And it's hard to understand the other person's perspective, another person's side, and hear their story. So I want to invite you, create a safe space, like the Cancer energy, little burrow to nest in, just to process and go through those feelings. And because it is Leo energy, you might find that you're drawn towards movement, something that moves you, being able to be drawn towards sharing with a very close friend and confidant. Maybe you have to get dramatic about it. The Leos are the how do I want to say? They are the ones who can lend towards the drama, but also like the acting drama, like they have to be heard. So a trusted friend or confidant to share what you've been going through and to have your story witnessed. Very, very powerful to have your story witnessed. That can be helpful. So that's Tuesday's energy. You're going to just give yourself a little bit more space, a little bit more breathing time, and watch your heart. Wednesday. As we move into Wednesday's energy, moon's still in Leo, and we're in that first quarter energy. Now, this is the beautiful thing. Like when you're tracking, even at the tippity top, I have affirmations like, I am radiant. So even though you might be feeling all the feels and all the emotions, I've got tools in here to help you through the moment. And we'll go through some of the sacred practices as well. But that's what I'll spend more time on with the Moon Club, inside of the Moon Club, because I don't want to take up too much of your time here. And for those inside of the Moon Club, I know they're ready for these sacred practices, and we'll go deeper with them, with rituals, especially with the new moon and sometimes with the full moon. Okay, Leo moon on Wednesday, first quarter. This is where we start to make some of the cuts. You've gathered the information, you've done the research, you've paid attention to your feelings around certain situations, and you've given yourself some space. You're being encouraged to be very diplomatic in your communication and in your wording. You might want to notice where you've been overly optimistic or you have been overly emotional. I would encourage you, because the Leos, they're ruled by the sun. So this is giving you some time and space to go back into what does your heart really want? What is it searching for? Emotion is there as part of the story. It's energy in motion. It's trying to get our attention. It's saying something is going on here. So if you give a channel to the emotions on Wednesday, it can be super duper helpful, because you're being encouraged to trust your intuition. But if emotions are running high and we're really angry and hot under the collar, or we're feeling super duper sad, or even if we're in a place of fight or flight fear, it's hard to hear good intuitive guidance. It's there, it's just very quiet. And intuitive guidance, you're always going to know that it's intuition because, number one, it comes in an indoor voice. So it's not like bolts of lightning and thunder unless your life's in danger. It's really quiet and it's loving. And it can be hard to hear through the noise, especially like big fear or anxiety and worry. The second thing about intuition is that it's love-based. It's not going to come and scare you. So even when things are really dicey and, not so great, your angels are not going to be like, run for your life, or like, they're stealing all of your stuff. They're going to get your attention in another way. How do I know this? I've lived through it multiple times. They're very loving and very kind and caring in the way that they do their intuitive nudges. It's not fears like, you're going to lose all your clients, you're going to get super sick, cancel, clear, delete, right? I look to the side because I'm not going to put that stuff in your space. Absolutely not. If you have somebody, I mean, it's good to get heads up of energetic weather around us, but there are always options, right? And intuition, the way the angels work, they're bringing through the message in love. It might just be like, check your email, or it might be log into Facebook, those are real life examples for me where I did that and I found out, something's really, really going badly. But it's love-based. So not fear-based, love-based. So it's indoor voice, love-based, and it's consistent. So it's not going to be like, oh, call your friend Sally and then go down, or it might be like, oh, go out for, coffee with Mark, or, what, take a vacation right now. Those are different things. The message is going to be consistent. The pathway that the angels may be trying to nudge you through might be slightly different, but the end goal is always consistent, which might be contact Sally, whether they say call her, email her, text her. It's like get a hold of this particular person. Okay, so being encouraged Wednesday to be able to trust your intuition, I would encourage you to use that particular practice to help. Thursday, moon moves into Virgo. I love a good Virgo moon because Virgo moons, things get done. Very analytical, down to earth, practical, system oriented, detail oriented. The thing that you want to watch for, especially this week, the energy is shifting. So Thursday in particular, moon is growing. We've made the cuts. We're refining our actions to work towards our goal. You're going to feel very strong, very personally determined, like I've got this. Why? Because Pluto is trining the sun. So there's this strength deep within, like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do this new moon intention, this inspiration that was planted in your heart. You really feel the fire burning in your belly. And Virgo energy is saying, okay, well, let's get down to brass tacks and look at this. What kind of systems would you have to have in place in order to build it? Who might you have to have on your team or side in order to go after this? Maybe it's going for a promotion at work, and maybe you hire a coach in the field who can help you negotiate or ask for that raise or prep to go out for that particular position. Some of my clients are working on getting onto the TED stage. Some have done it in the past. And they're saying, okay, well, we're looking for particular systems and methodologies, and they evaluate that. It could simply be, you know what, I want to renovate my house. What do I have to do? Like, do I need to work with this particular contractor? What would the dates be like? So you're looking at those kinds of details, but there's definitely an energetic shift where you have called back your power. And there's a practice that I do that I encourage my students to call back their energy, call back their power to themselves. And Thursday would be the day for that. So we're just going to say, how can you make the most of Thursday's energy? Dun, dun, dun. Capricorn, achieve. They're all coming out upside down. I don't think I have the deck upside down. But what this basically says is discipline equals freedom. Use that Virgo detail-oriented energy to create routines for yourself that are going to enable you to achieve your dream. Capricorn is determined, it's ambitious, it's willing to go the long haul, but it also realizes that discipline equals freedom. It's not just like, oh, build it and they will come. There's more to it than that. And the Capricorn energy is aware of it. So you're tapping into that Thursday. Jumping ahead. Friday moon still in Virgo, so you can benefit from all of that great analytical energy. Yay! Oh, Thursday's your perfect combo. So glad to hear that, Julie. Friday. I'm getting confused now. Better ground again. Friday. Moon still in Virgo. Self-control really comes in because the moon is opposing Saturn. That kind of kicks off. And when the moon opposes Saturn, moon is your emotions, it's intuition, it's that daily routine. And Saturn is like the parent who says you have to do your homework before you can go out and play. There's no crying in baseball. And we've just had a very emotional beginning to the week. So Saturn's coming in here to say like, all right, oh my gosh, there's a card in the tarot deck. And one of my friends described it this way to me. And I just thought, holy cannoli, like in like my tender heart, I could never imagine saying this to anyone, but it's very good for the 5 of Cups when we're so emotional and we're crying over what's been lost. And, we put all our energy and time and love into this, and the cups have spilled. We've got nothing left. It didn't work out. There's a bridge behind the man and this beautiful river and a castle, and there's still 2 cups standing. There's still hope, but this person, this figure is focused on what's been lost. So my friend describes it like this. She says, cry a river, build a bridge, and get over it. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? So it's kind of like the beginning of the week. We're crying the river, we're singing the blues. Come Thursday, we're starting to build the bridge. And Friday, into the weekend, we're getting over it. Holy cannoli, tough love today. Okay, so how can we make the most of Friday's energy? Sagittarius, and he came out upside down. Expand. So what's blocking you from going bigger, from growth, expansion, from receiving the abundance and prosperity that's knocking at your door? We have to be willing to receive these gifts of grace that come our way. That's the free will again. God, universe, the angels, they could bring all of these amazing gifts our way. But if we don't open up our hearts and pick them up with our hands, then we're just not going to be able to receive that goodness and take it into our heart. There'll be unopened gifts that just stay on the path. All right. And I'm looking, it is a take action day on Friday, 27 degrees sun. So you just take note. So, and as I say this, those who are following along with your journal, you can always write the card that I pull in each day as well for yourself and jot down any insights you get as you hear me talking through this. That's one way that you can use the journal on these calls. Okay, so Saturday's energy, moon moves into Libra. Saturday is an exciting day. Oh, holy cannoli. This is interesting. I see I didn't go live in my group. Holy cannoli. You know what? I'm going to go live now in my group. Sorry, guys. I'm going to make sure it comes up. There we go. Hello, friends in the Facebook group. Glad to see you. I missed clicking a button in my fiery, intensive emotions this morning. So hopefully you'll be able to go back and catch the beginning of this video. If not, I will upload it and share it later. Okay, so Saturday's energy. One of the things to be aware of with the Libra moon is Libra is about harmony and balance. So we started off the week a little on the tumultuous side, big energy, big emotion. And then what ended up happening is we cried the river, we built the bridge, we're getting over it so that we can find that equanimity once again. And it really does take a village, having the trusted confidants and friends who can witness our stories. Shameless plug, which is why I'm reigniting Moon Club again as well inside of the Moon Club, because it's a safe space to share these journeys of emotion. Okay, so Saturday, part of the reason it's such an exciting day, we have a lot of things going on in the heavens. The biggest thing is that the sun and Jupiter are hugging essentially. So the planet of good luck, prosperity, abundance, a benevolent planet, is connecting with your heart, your ego, your joy in this world. Hello, Eleanor. Oh, I'm so glad you found me. Yes, I didn't hit the right button, so my apologies. That was on me. My mistake. I can't even blame the solar flares. Oh, goodness. Glad you're making it for this part. So Saturday's energy, a lot of good luck and abundance and prosperity, and really you being able to step into who you are and to go after your dreams. The other reason that it's such a cool time is that you've got the sun also making friends with Uranus and Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of, and Venus, I said Jupiter already, and Venus is a planet of harmony and of beauty. So when you are moving into the Saturday energy, what I'm going to encourage you to do is have some fun. Allow yourself that opportunity to dream big. So the new moon intention you set last week, what you've been building and working towards, one of the things that you can do with Saturday is you can, how do I want to say this? commit to the intuitive hits that you got this week and trust those intuitive hits. So the time that you created and carved out on Tuesday and Wednesday, a safe space to honor your feelings, to really get past fear or worry or anger or self-doubt, to really hear those intuitive messages. This is when on Saturday you say, you know what? I'm going to commit to those intuitive hits I got. Here are the actions I'm going to take. And maybe on Saturday, you go out with a friend and you, again, a trusted confidant, and you share with them what your heart's biggest dream or desire is. Maybe you don't go out, but you decide, you know what, I'm going to write a little manifesto, or I'm going to journal and I'm going to write down the thing that I really want to call into being. But you're being encouraged to celebrate. It's an expansive, good luck day. You've got all sorts of things going on, especially with, I want to say with Mercury. Hold on. I'm going to pull up. Go back to the 18th. No. Yeah, the 18th. Who was it? It was Neptune. Okay, so Neptune, intuition, Pluto, Jupiter and the sun and the moon. It's forming what's called a kite. So you really have this incredible ability to be empowered in the intuitive hits that you've gotten earlier this week, and to take action so that you can start manifesting. It's a manifesting day. The energy is in Taurus, earth energy. The moon and the sun and Jupiter are right next to each other, and they're looking to really go big. Okay, so with that said, we'll pull a card for Saturday. How can you make the most of Saturday's energy? And we'll see who pops up. All righty. Whew. Bum, bum, bum. Vesta. Aw, home and hearth. So see that fire that's burning there? I want to encourage you to tune into the fire of your heart. What do you know, like when they say a light went out in their eyes or the spark is missing? Do you guys ever see French Kiss way back when with Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline? And Kevin Kline is dancing with her ex-fiance, and he's like, there's a spark that's gone back on in your eyes. What happened? Like, what brought this light in? And why wasn't it there before? It's Kevin Kline's character. And this is kind of like that. A spark and a light can go back on within you. Maybe something that you thought, had hit the end of the road, that was hopeless, that, I have this big dream, but I don't know how it could ever come to be. The opportunities are coming your way. Inspire and feed that fire in your heart. All right. Sunday's energy. Moon is in Libra. And Libra is about harmony. It's about finding that beauty. A Libra energy can sometimes be extra concerned with how others are feeling. It's a very gracious host or hostess type of energy. Part of the reason is that because Libras like to see things from all sides. It's the justice energy or the judge, like Solomon. Wise King Solomon, they want to be able to understand the stories. They're going to not just judge right out of the gate, but they want to try to understand, essentially. So that's why sometimes they can appear indecisive. But what I'm going to encourage you to do as the moon is growing in that waxing phase and you're working towards your new moon intention and project coming to be is, my doggy's snoring back here. I don't know if you could hear, holy cannoli. I want to encourage you to look at things from all sides, to be, again, very diplomatic and understanding in your approach, and to bring that harmony and beauty into your life. So maybe it's just as simple as going to an art fair or a museum this weekend, because there's inspiration that can come when you're listening to a good piece of music, or especially live music, or you're out in the museums and you're seeing these beautiful works of art. It's truly moving. Okay, so how can you make the most of Sunday's energy? Digest, Virgo. I love that she has digest on this particular card. Oh, good. I'm glad the puppy snores aren't distracting you. Thanks, Julie. The digest information here. I love this because you've done so much research up to this point. Beginning as we're waxing, we're researching, we're making the appointments, we're interviewing people, we're maybe signing up for courses. Wednesday's energy, the first quarter moon, we're making the cuts. This stays, this doesn't. The rest of the week, we're refining what works for us. And by Sunday, it's saying, okay, take some time and just digest everything you've learned. Don't do more research. Don't keep going out there. Just digest the information so you can discern what works for you versus what maybe someone else is trying to say, oh, you know what would be great for you? You know what you need? And this is saying, wait a second, that's great. You can take that into account, but ground, digest the information so you can practice discernment. Make sure that it is the right choice for you. Okay, I'll give you a quick little view of snoring puppy down there. So little Gracie, she always comes in to do this work with me. Bostons are known for their snoring. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your patience. My deepest apologies to my friends in the Facebook group that I didn't go live till the very end. Holy cannoli. So I'll make sure that you get the updated video that it's uploaded into the thread there. And yeah, have a great, great week. Keep your eyes and ears open for Moon Club information. I'm very excited to be offering this to you. The thing with the Inside of the Moon Club that makes it different than just these weekly weather reports is that we have community. We'll come together like-minded, intuitive hearts. I'm going to be doing a lot of specific moon rituals, especially new moon rituals, healing energetic tune-ups like around new moon or full moon. We'll have at least once a month or once a month. We'll do tarot readings. We're going to have manifestation mandalas. So like I'll give you little aspects of the Inside of the Moon journal to work with. We're going to do, what are the other things that I've missed so far? Got a lot of things going on in there, but I'm going to basically be teaching you aspects as well of how to manifest with the moon. If you're launching something, I have a lot of one-on-one clients who are like, okay, well, when should I launch my book club? Or when should I, share this challenge that I'm doing? Or when should I do this? I'm going to teach you how to do that with the moon. So how to really step into sync and rhythm with the moon. That's one thing. But yeah, all things wonderful in moon, we're going to go a lot deeper. So if you want to check that out, I will go ahead and drop that little link in the comments because I know with some of these lives, they scroll by and they just go with, there we go. Yay. Oh, and I can do this one really fun thing, I think. I can bring it on the screen. Haha, ta-da. So irenamiller.co/club if you are interested in finding out more about the Inside of the Moon Club. We're going to have an official kickoff this weekend, taking advantage of that fantastic energy of the Sun and Jupiter and Venus and Uranus. All right. Have a great week. Thanks so much and much, much love to you all. Mwah. Bye, guys.